Hey everyone, welcome to another English grammar lesson. Today we're going to be talking about a concept called pronoun clarity or vague pronouns. So, in case you're a little rusty, let me just remind you that pronouns are words that take the place of nouns. Like instead of saying Jeff put on Jeff's shoes, you could say Jeff put on his shoes. Or instead of saying Amy knew that Amy was going to be late for work, you could say Amy knew that she was going to be late for work. Common pronouns include things like he, him, his, she, her, hers, I, me, my, you, your, it, and they. There are more, obviously, but these are just some of the main ones. So, anyway, pronouns are usually quite helpful because they make it so that we don't have to say the exact same name or noun or whatever over and over again. So, usually they're pretty good and we want to use them. But we don't always want to use them because sometimes they can create situations where the meaning of the sentence is vague or unclear. Like this. After Amanda yelled at Lucy, she felt guilty. So here we have the pronoun she, but it's actually kind of unclear who exactly she is referring to. Is she referring to Amanda? Like Amanda yelled at Lucy and then felt guilty for yelling at her? Or is she referring to Lucy? Like Amanda yelled at Lucy, which made Lucy feel guilty for something she had presumably said or done. So you can see here that the pronoun she is rather unclear, rather vague, right? We don't know which noun or antecedent the word she is referring to. So to make this sentence work, you'd actually have to replace this pronoun. Maybe you just use the name of the person. Maybe you say something like the former or the latter or something. I don't know. The point is that this pronoun is not clear, and so the sentence doesn't really work. So let's hammer out a few practice ones here. Take a look at each sentence and see if you can tell me what pronouns might be vague or unclear. And once you've found the pronoun in question, challenge yourself to think about why exactly that pronoun doesn't work. Here we go. Paul tried reading the book to his son, but he kept falling asleep. Okay, so what's the problematic pronoun here? What are we even looking at? Answer is he. Great. Okay, so why is this a problem? Why doesn't he work here? Well, it doesn't work because he could be referring to either Paul or his son, making it unclear who exactly kept falling asleep. Let's try another one. Although the car hit the pole, it wasn't really damaged. Okay, so once again, let's start by finding the pronoun in question. What is the pronoun that does not work here? The one that might be vague or unclear? Answer is it. Okay, and why does it not work? Well, because it could be referring to either the car or the pole. We don't know which of the two wasn't very damaged. Was the car not very damaged? Or was the pole not very damaged? Maybe we can assume that we're talking about the car because that's the thing we're more likely to be worried about in this situation, but we don't technically know that, and that's a problem. All right, how about two more? The mother gave the child her blanket. Okay, so as usual, let's find the pronoun in question. Should be her, right? And why does her not work here? Well, yet again, because we don't know who her is referring to. Is her referring to the mother? Like the mother had a blanket of her own and then gave that blanket to the child because the kid was getting cold or something? Or is her referring to the child? Like the child had a blanket and the mother went and got it and gave it to the child? I don't know. And that's the problem. And finally, Jared went to visit Ken, which greatly improved his mental health. One last time, let's find the pronoun in question here. Should be his. Good. And why does his not work? Well, again, because we don't know who we're talking about. Whose mental health is it? When we say his mental health, we could be talking about either Jared's or Ken's, which, again, is a problem. So all this is to say, just make sure that when you're using pronouns, that you're careful of situations that might create vagueness or ambiguity. Remember that writing should always be clear, And sometimes the use of pronouns, which are supposed to help with that, can actually have the opposite effect. Cool. Well, whether you came here for a refresher or just learning this stuff for the first time, I hope this video helped. Be sure to check out the free practice down in the description, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.